I made $137,000 last year at only 19 years old while being a full-time college student, and in this video, I'm gonna break down exactly where all that money came from. I'm gonna give you a breakdown of what type of content that I create to make this kind of money, some of my additional revenue streams that make me extra money for the same amount of work, and some steps you guys can take to get started making money online as soon as next month. I'll also cover some of my biggest and lowest earning months throughout 2025, so you guys can get a better understanding of the consistency of revenue streams that comes with this type of job. And if any of that interests you just a little bit, make sure to stick around to the end of the video, because it's honestly packed full of information that I probably shouldn't be giving away for free, but I don't really care. I want to help you guys out. Alright, for starters, how in the hell did I make all this money at my age? Right now, I'm 19 years old and in my second year of college. However, my whole life, I have also been obsessed with making YouTube videos. I started my first ever channel back in 2014 when I was just 8 years old, filming Call of Duty trick-shotting videos with my iPad, and now nearly 12 years later, after posting thousands of videos on many different channels, I finally figured out a system to follow in order to grow successfully on social media. The channel that kickstarted it all for me was built slowly over the span of a few years, but ramped up very quickly after I noticed a channel in my niche absolutely exploding with views on shorts. I had been posting sports highlights to my channel on short form, but never had a good idea on how I could successfully monetize this kind of content, until I found the perfect channel to replicate. They were super successful doing short form and long form content. However, at the time, the only thing I cared about was looking at their shorts. They were making simple 20 to 30 second basketball videos, showcasing some of the craziest, smartest, and rarest moments in the NBA, all while adding in some engaging narration to explain each clip, and some funny sound effects to tie it all together. Now, all of this doesn't sound like a big deal. I mean, it was just some random basketball channel, right? Well, to me at the time, this is exactly what I needed. A channel that was in my niche of sports, making videos that are monetizable, that are getting millions and millions of views on a consistent basis. To you, this may have just looked like another random channel, but to me, this was an absolute goldmine. I started pumping out videos every single day, using the exact same ideas I saw on this channel, but just in a different sport. If he made a smartest NBA moments video, I would make a smartest MLB moments video. If he made a 1 in a million NBA moments video, I would make a 1 in a million NFL moments video. And the train continued on. Was I copying his ideas? Yeah, 100%. But I wasn't directly copying his video or the context of it, so it's completely fair game. And that's what a lot of people don't realize they need to do on YouTube in order to grow and be successful. You don't need to reinvent the wheel to blow up a channel. You just need to find someone who you can replicate your content off of that is already doing well on the platform. Why would I try to come up with a brand new viral video idea when I can just look to see what is already working on YouTube and make my own video with a twist on the subject? It's simply just using the resources that you have around you to help out with your growth. If you were trying to become a bodybuilder but had zero experience within the gym or tracking your calories or what supplements to take, do you really think you would succeed at your goal without looking at what other bodybuilders are doing to get their physique? Probably not. But if you based your entire diet and workout plan off of someone you were trying to look like, chances are after enough time and energy put into it, you would become that bodybuilder that you always wanted to be. Think about that for a second. It's the exact same thing for YouTube and social media. Now that I covered how I got started in the type of content that I make, I want to break down the type of money you could expect to be making if you were doing the exact same strategy as me. Keep in mind, I'm not going to share the exact amount I made per month. However, I do want to cover my lowest and highest months of 2025 so you could see how much it actually fluctuates based on current events and the time of the year. October was actually my lowest earning month of 2025 for a multitude of personal reasons that I just couldn't post as much, which affected how many views the videos that I did post actually got. YouTube Shorts feeds off momentum, so when you take a break from posting for a few days, the momentum your channel has starts to slow down. At least that's what I've seen. But in October of 2025, I made a total of $3,626.87 from my social media pages. This is a combination of YouTube Shorts earnings, TikTok earnings, and some other sources of additional online income that I'll talk about in a little bit. It kind of makes sense as to why this amount was the lowest of the year, because I was still focused on posting mainly baseball content, even though the baseball season was pretty much over. I should have transitioned over to more football videos sooner than I did, but at least I now learned for October of this year. My highest earning month of 2025 was actually in July, where I made a total of $17,000 $1,106.56. Again, this was a combination of YouTube Shorts, TikTok, and other additional income streams. This month was honestly crazy because I started off the first half of the month only making around $2,000, but that's when I decided to lock in and grind out longer short form videos that were over a minute so I could also earn money from TikTok, all from the same exact videos I was posting to YouTube. I was pretty much doubling the income stream opportunity by posting the same piece of content to both platforms. This was also the first month that I was monetized on TikTok and got invited to the TikTok specialized rewards program for high quality sports content, which adds an additional bonus to your earnings at the end of every month based on how well your videos performed. It's honestly such a great program that TikTok runs, and not enough people talk about it. And yeah, those are my highest and lowest months of the year. Every month is somewhere in between those values, and you could do the math if you wanted to figure out what I made on average each month. Obviously, I had some very high months, especially during the summertime, but then there are also some below average months as well, which you need to take into consideration if you're wanting to get into this business full time. Now, this is a rough pie chart of where the 137,000 came from in 2025. Obviously, a big majority of that came from YouTube Shorts. However, if I only stuck to YouTube and didn't ever transition into making money from TikTok or my other income streams, I would have only made roughly $93,160. Obviously, that's still a good amount of money, but it just goes to show that having multiple sources of income really adds up over time. And I want to now show you exactly how I turned what could have been only $93,000 into $137,000 with my additional income streams. Obviously, the main one is TikTok, which I slightly explained before, but I also want to cover that other 7% of the graph that came from me literally doing almost no extra work. I explained a little bit earlier about how I was able to start earning from TikTok, but I want to show you exactly what I was talking about. Because if you don't know, you can earn money from the views you get on your TikTok page as long as you are in the Creator Rewards program and post TikTok videos that are over 1 minute long. This might sound easy, but people on TikTok have the attention span of a goldfish, so grabbing their attention and keeping it for over a minute is honestly a lot harder than you think. Also, I was mainly posting 15 to 30 second videos to YouTube, so doubling that amount while also keeping the viewers engaged was something that I had to get used to. However, after a bit of practice writing longer scripts and finding sport moments I could talk about for over a minute, I started to get the hang of things. This honestly was working great because I was able to post the full 1 minute video to TikTok and then cut out the dull parts of the video to make an absolute banger 35 to 45 second video for YouTube Shorts. I was making double the income from all the same amount of work, and I wasn't complaining at all. Now, that last piece of the pie that made up 7% of my total income from last year actually came from me using specific songs in my YouTube videos. I was working with a company that supplied background music to creators, and in return for me using that song as the background music of my videos, I got a percentage of what that video generated for the music company in royalties. It's similar to how artists get paid for their songs from Spotify or Apple Music or whatever. It was literally zero extra work besides finding a song in the library that fit the vibe of the video, and I was making a stupid amount of extra money because of it. Sadly, this music royalty method kinda got patched in the last few months of 2025, but I have a connection with the owner of the platform, and right now they are going through beta testing for a similar but new way creators will be able to make money from this concept again. If you're at all interested in this, just let me know in the comments, and I'll keep you guys updated on if that comes back or not. Now, overall, what I want you to take away from this is that finding additional income streams based on the type of work you are already doing is one of the biggest factors in how to build wealth. If you're a construction worker or a plumber or just work in a standard sit-down job, maybe start a page and bring along your fans for a day in the life, or do a POV of you just doing your job. There are always ways to make additional income from what you're already doing. You just gotta think outside of the box and be creative. And yeah, that's a full breakdown of how I got started making money online. I'm still learning a ton of new information every single day on this journey of mine, so if you want to join along for the ride, feel free to subscribe down below. If not, no worries. I appreciate you watching this video. Also, let me know down below if you guys want me to cover a specific topic in a future video. I love reading through all the nice comments and stories you guys have to say, so keep on commenting and sharing your experiences. But yeah, that's all for today's video. I'll see you in the next one.